Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 540. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it go?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys, you already know. Back with another one. Missing a couple people. Chris won't be joining us. And neither will Brian. So Adam may or may not show up. We'll see. Brett may or may not show up. But you got us right now, you know. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. Kind of interesting week, but obviously the Bane story of the week is Death Stranding 2, you know, which we can now finally talk about, or specifically Richard can talk about. So yeah, let's get into it. Rich, let's hear your review of Death Stranding 2, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so Death Stranding 2. So the title of this episode, I believe, is Death Stranding 2 is Incredible.
Yes.
That title is 1000% accurate. It is incredible. Now let me start by saying I did play the first game. I thought the first game was good. I also thought that Kojima, obviously coming off of what happened with Konami, when he left Konami, this is really his first project outside of that. So I figured that there was a couple of things he wanted to experiment with to see how it would go. So obviously going into Death Stranding 2, what I learned very quickly is that Kojima, it feels as though he leaned heavily into the stuff that he wanted to do with this game. I know that I think I've said multiple times about it feeling. Well, first and foremost, let me start by saying this: the pacing of the game is outstanding. You know, from the moment it starts, the story. And I'm not going to say any spoilers because I know that we do have a few people who haven't played it yet here, and I'm sure some people that are listening to this haven't played it yet. So I'm trying not to say any spoilers, but clearly, I like this story because it gets right to the point, right to the whole point of the storyline. And much like Expedition 33, I believe I made the comment. What I like about that story is there is a hook that catches you right from the very beginning of the game, which makes you want to keep playing. This is exactly how I felt about this game, because something happens very early in the game where it's like, oh, well, now I want to see where they're going with this. But yes, what I noticed is, there's a lot more stealth in this game. A lot of the stuff you could have done before. I like the fact that you can avoid enemy encounters altogether. I also like the fact that if you are traveling somewhere, you can also avoid things that you may encounter on certain paths because you can do the whole route planning thing ahead of time. Now, what I also like about it, again, Decima engine, fantastic. The weather and how it plays a factor in this game is pretty crazy. You know, there was a stage I played where there was a forest fire. That was pretty crazy because you have to do something, a delivery centered around that. They have earthquakes, which they call gatequakes, that randomly happen at various points while you're exploring the world. So you have to be prepared for that. I want to say the dust storms, the sandstorms rather. Yeah, those are also, all this stuff is pretty intense. So I like how they make it more difficult for you if you have to go on certain routes. One thing I will say though, is that clearly, and I'll be very candid, when it came to fighting the BTs, when it came to fighting the bosses, and when it came to fighting the enemies in general, it still feels like it's very easy and very straightforward. So I want to give a shout out to somebody who I know that likes to use cheats, so on and so forth. They absolutely do not need any of that stuff in this game. You do not need it. Yeah. You don't need it. But no. I like the story. I like the characters. I don't know how far you are, Tony, but I will say this. The character that they highlighted at Summer Game Fest, where they showed a clip, is this character called Neil. when you get to his chapter, yeah, that's why I said, this feels a lot like Metal Gear Solid with that particular chapter. But no, the game is great. It feels as though, like I said, Kojima, he wanted to really give people a little bit more with this game. Like I said, the story, the setting is great, but I do feel that there is more of the action stealth if you decide to take that approach. And honestly, it just felt good sneaking past enemies, doing all this stuff in the game. It just felt very natural. But yeah, also, again, very easy. So it's not like it's a very challenging type of scenario. I will say when you do have some of those boss fights, those can get a little intense. You may run out of ammunition. And then, of course, you have to get some more. I did die at least one time on one of those boss battles. That was yeah. I had it coming. I was a little bit too risky with the way I tried to go about that one. But no, overall, yes. We that's exactly what happened. But no, overall, I think it's fantastic. I know PlayStation hasn't had any first party games. We don't really consider this a first party game because it is going to come to PC and Xbox, but definitely a great game to play if you enjoyed the first one. I will say, however, if you did not like the delivery stuff in the first one, you probably shouldn't play this game because you're going to be doing a lot of deliveries. Obviously, it's just a different region. You're going to Mexico and Australia. Most of the game takes place in Australia. So that's, you got to expect that, but still a fun time, very enjoyable storyline, and I definitely recommend people check it out. And again, I do have a review in progress on the website right now because there are a couple of chapters that I wanted to finish before I actually gave a score. So yeah, that's why I have a review in progress. So I still need to finish some stuff, but what I played so far, fantastic. So definitely worth checking out.
That's what's up. Real quick, because I'll give my quick thoughts on, because I haven't played nearly as much as you. Shout out to Gary Swaby, who's in the chat right now. He says, shout out to the Throwdown crew. And obviously, he also said, it's time for me to get into Death Stranding. I miss Kojima's storytelling. Gary, you'll absolutely love both of these games, man. I know that for a fact. But yeah, so Rich, I've only played 11 hours, so I'm not deep into it at all. I'll say that main character you're talking about, I haven't even met him yet. So I'm not even that. Yeah, I'm not even there yet. Like, I'll say, okay, I can say this because it's expected. I just got to the point where I could start building roads. So that's how far I am into the game.
Okay.
So, just so you get an idea of where I am. I will say that since I'm not reviewing the game, I'm doing every single mission presented to me. I'm not rushing through it. But I think it's great. Okay, so in my first few hours, because I heard all the reviews talking about how this game is more action packed. I kind of thought that was kind of like, I was like, that is no. I'm like, I've played 3 hours of this. I haven't gotten to a single encounter yet. And then I was kind of assuming like maybe it's because you could encounter more combat if you avoid stuff, which is what I was doing. But now I'm at a point like, oh no, they're forcing you just into this shit. So it is more action packed. Like I just did 3 missions in a row where it's like, take these motherfuckers out. And another one I'm about to do right now. Actually, Rich, maybe I have to hit basically what looks like a fortress. I'm like, oh, you got to go there now. And take it. And they even specifically tell me, arm up. You're gonna have to fight a lot of guys. So I'm like, okay, so this shit's getting real.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, the game's great. It's like the best way I could describe it is like putting on your favorite pair of pants. I'm like, because I love Death Stranding. The first game, fantastic. So it was just I fell into it very easily. Manny and I were kind of talking about this with the first game. It's like my hands instantly knew when I'm walking. Hold down the triggers and press, R1 to crouch and shit. And then, press the square button occasionally to climb over stuff. That came pretty easily. But yeah, no, even like just 11 hours in, they're throwing a lot of weapons at you, like a fucking sniper rifle. I'm like, whoa, this is dope. So and then I fell into Metal Gear mode. Yeah, I was like, I fell into Metal Gear mode. Like, find the spot, snipe some motherfuckers, go around, very, you could tell, very much leaning into the Metal Gear isms here, and the Kojima is like, there was this one scene where like, it's funny because I was like, sometimes you go to sleep in the game and you just have like a random crazy fucking dream.
Nightmare.
Yeah. And then, and sometimes it would just happen randomly. It's not even part of the story, So what I experienced, I don't know if it is part of the story, because I just like, because basically you could wake up during the day and night because there's a day night cycle now. So, I woke up in the middle of the night, because it's not I woke up in the middle of the night. It's an alarm clock. It wakes you up midnight. Let me go back to sleep. I went back to sleep. And then I had this dream where this like crazy naked guy was dancing and shit. Like, okay, this is pure fucking Kojima right here,
They say...
Don't tell me who that is, Manny.
No. I'm not saying what it is, but this is something that's also addressed in the synopsis in the original game. The original game, what it was is that they have, because you have dooms, it also means that you're also open to things that can maybe, the more dooms you have, you can get a little crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of times you'll have these kind of kooky dreams. In fact, the further on you get in Death Stranding 1, you start seeing more of those dream things.
Yeah.
Like there's like jump scares and shit, that all kinds of shit that happens inside of that place, of that room.
So yeah, in this game, like just like with the first one, when I'm like, ooh, let me go wash my face. I wonder if something's gonna happen, because sometimes it would happen, something did happen, but it was part of the story, so I was expected. But yeah, no, that one dream, I'm like, oh, that was fucking weird. It was this naked guy dancing, I like the Magellan.
It wasn't Conan O'Brien, right?
No, it wasn't Conan O'Brien, but who knows? Maybe it was Conan O'Brien. I like the Magellan. The ship you're riding on reminds me a lot of Metal Gear Solid 2. The tanker.
It looks like a giant Rex head.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when you're inside, even the green and everything. I'm like, bro, this is Metal Gear Solid 2 right now. I'm loving it right now. My only complaint is I haven't had enough time to play. There's been a very especially busy week for me, so I've only been able to play like maybe 2 hours a night, because I got the code. Actually, it kind of lines up, doesn't it? Like I got the code on Monday night. I've played around 11 hours, so it's like 2 to 3 hours a night. But thankfully, not only does the weekend start tomorrow, but I'm on vacation next week, baby. So what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to play this fucking game. Yeah, finally.
You going to get that platinum trophy, yo.
I don't know about by the way, to answer your question, I did not get the trophy, the platinum in Death Stranding 1. So I don't know if I'll get it in this one. We'll see what happens. But
difficult to do.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I was looking at him like, I don't know about that. But yeah, no.
I got a question.
Why is it? Yeah, what's up?
Why is it? This is for both Rich and Tony. If you were to give me 3 things that Death Stranding 2 improves the most on from the original game, what would you say?
You want to go first, Rich?
How about you go first, Tony?
All right. So the pacing is a lot faster. You kind of get right to the shit. You don't have to fumble as much with the fucking menus anymore. Like for example, one of the most important things in the first game, and this one too, is like managing your backpack to optimize it. It took so long to do that shit. Now, literally, you hit the up button, on the D-pad, you press X, and it automatically does it. So a lot less fumbling when it comes to that. And then the third thing that it improves on, again, I'm only at 11 hours in. I feel like you get a better sense of where you need to go and where you kind of should avoid, like, because you like, okay, I'm gonna plot this path. I guess that's the improvement. You can plot a fucking path, because sometimes we're like, oh, I gotta go over. I look at the first game, like, I gotta go over here. It's like, yeah, but there's a giant fucking mountain between you. So in this game, you get a better sense of it. So you could kind of plot it. I know you could do it in the first game too, but this game does it better, and it tells you right from the beginning. You could plot your route. So I would say those are the big 3 improvements for the moment, because there's others. Like, I like the fact that you're already getting way more weapons, Yeah, so I think those are the big 3. You get right into it. Better like menu. There's still some clunkiness. Don't get me wrong. The menus aren't perfect, but they're better. And then just navigating over the map, because even the first one, I would pick some pretty bad paths. This one does a better job of helping you avoid that shit. What about you, Rich? What are your 3?
Okay, yeah. So I do agree about the story pacing. It gets right to the point. It is a lot more action oriented, and you will see this, Tony, when you get to that Neil stage.
Yeah,
because that is not something you can avoid. So that was quite an interesting little thing right there.
Kind of like the Mads Mikkelsen stuff.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. I would also say I like, again, with the first game, a lot of the walking and stuff like that, and of course listening to Woodkid, who is Carlos's favorite composer now. So, but I like that there are other ways to travel in this, and I'm not going to say anything because I don't know how far you are, Tony. But yeah, there's other ways to travel besides just the trucks, the cars. There's other things. I like that a lot. One in particular, which I'm not going to mention yet. But yeah, that I like that this is you can do that. Obviously there are certain situations where you're able to use a certain vehicle, so on and so forth, and they recommend that you use something if you have to transport a lot of stuff.
Nice.
But that's good. But no, yeah, I would say those 3. The story is great with the pacing, the action is there, and more ways to traverse. One last thing I will say again, like I mentioned.
Rich cut out. Kojima didn't like him talking about it. Rich,
encounters.
Rich, you cut out for 30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You were on the last point where you're like, and also like that.
Oh yeah. I was saying, and also I like that you can avoid certain encounters with the enemies, and then of course with the routes, you can avoid a lot of that stuff. Now, I did have a quick question for Tony. Hopefully, this is not considered a spoiler.
Yeah.
I just want to ask this question. Early in the game, you have a particular encounter with some individuals in red. Okay?
Yes.
And there was a certain individual that shows up to, survey the situation and assist. I just want to ask you this question. I know I could not be the only one that felt this. Because of how they introduced that character, did you not get vibes of Gray Fox from the original Metal Gear Solid game?
Oh, of course. As soon as I saw that, actually, but before I get to that,
it's in the trailer.
I haven't. I've literally the only trailer I've ever seen is the first one, so I don't know any of that. I was just like the first thing I was like, Kojima. Of course, you have to have a cyborg fucking ninja, don't you? Or cyborg samurai. Not surprised. Now, Rich, here's my question to you. What did you do before that encounter? Because I was still on my bike. You know what I did? I drove. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with any of this stuff. I just ran right through until the game forced me to stop, to see that cutscene.
Well, that's very interesting because I didn't know. I got out and I just started fighting these guys.
Oh,
it's
shit, you fought them. Damn.
Oh, yeah. They were firing at me. I had to. But no, I didn't know you could just drive right past them.
Yeah, no, when I saw that, again, I don't want to say what enemy type they were. I'm like, bro, no, I'm 2 hours into this fucking game. I am not equipped for this shit. I was like, can I drive? Sure enough, I drove right to the end until the game stopped me, So, yeah, but again, that's what's cool about this game, right? You could do missions how you want when it comes to enemies, But now I'm getting some weapons. I'm like, now I can deal with that type of enemy. Oh, I will say this though. Hopefully it's not a spoiler, but I like that there's BTs that could see you and attack. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Because in the first one, it's like they were blind basically, for the most part. So this one is like, you see those green eyes, bro? You're like, fuck, this is crazy. but you could sneak around them. Very, very Metal Gear like,
Yeah, there's what was it? It's like that. There's a famous painting that they look like.
Yeah.
Where the way that light comes out of their head.
That's fun. No, I didn't know that. But yeah, great game. I'm gonna enjoy playing it during my time off. It's again, to me, it's more of the same, and to me, that's a good thing because I really enjoyed the first Death Stranding. This is how you know I like it. Again, I was only like 3 hours into this game. I'm like, I'm ready to play part 3. Let's go. Like, I like this world they built. You know, it's very interesting. I really want to see how the rest of the world is and shit. But maybe I'll get answers, you know, by the end of this game. You know, but I'm enjoying it a lot. And, I gotta say this, Rich. We didn't even bring it up. Perhaps the most important thing, man. The graphics. Holy shit!
Oh yeah. That's my engine.
Yeah, I had Carlos. I had a Carlos moment, man. You know. Like you're watching.
Wait.
You know what I was asking myself?
It's that gameplay.
Yo, that was me. Like after you watch the initial cutscene and you actually get into the game, and I'm like, just like Carlos, is that gameplay? Then I press up, and he walks up. I'm like, fuck! Like that vista you see. Like, because, you first start off in Mexico, just this fucking expansive desert that just goes on forever, full daylight and shit. The lighting is hitting. I was like, fuck, this is crazy, And it has disappointed me. Like the character faces look better than ever, By the way, very interesting how certain studios, Western studios, we can't get we can't get the actors right because of the lighting. I don't know. I've seen these characters in multiple lighting situations, and they always look consistent. So I don't know.
Kojima, baby.
Yeah, Kojima. The graphics are crazy.
In general, they're full body scans that they do on them.
Yeah.
So, like when you usually do that, you have to do like cleanup on them. But yeah, if it's gonna look like them, it's gonna look like them.
Yeah, I forgot what there was one fucking developer. He did this giant fucking thread explaining how it's difficult to make actors in a video game look like their real life counterparts. I just wanted to reply with Kojima and leave. Fuck out of here. Bullshit excuse. How many other developers haven't been able to do that consistently? Fucking Mass Effect 3, bro. And that was like 12 years ago, So anyway, the graphics are insane. I'm playing it on the PS5 Pro. Playing it on performance mode. You already know. I want that silky smoothness. The graphics are crazy. They're crazy.
From what Digital Foundry says, it's like with this besides the LOD system on the game, the high resolution mode and the performance mode are both fairly close.
Yeah, in terms of resolution, right?
It's in terms of resolution, and it's only like a draw distance deal. Like in a lot of cases, like there's more things you can see in the distance.
Okay, yeah.
To the other one.
No,
that's the same for the PlayStation. For the PlayStation, regular too.
Yeah. There's a point I was going to make. I forgot, but yeah, no, the game's fantastic. Damn it! I forgot what the fuck it was. It was kind of important. I got sidetracked. Anyway,
so I'll ask you this question.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not the. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
I was just going to make one quick comment before you, Carlos. I promise you won't forget what you were going to say. I just have to say this. You talk about the graphics. I agree, Tony. But man, that way that they shoot that opening scene,
yeah,
Kojima for real. I want to see what he does as a filmmaker.
I thought the same thing.
That was incredible. Yes,
I think Kojima wants to see what he can do as a filmmaker.
He does too. I think that's what it's all leading up to. He's gonna film.
Oh yeah,
yeah. His whole life's been leading to that moment. Yeah, we're gonna say Carlos.
I have a question. How does this and Tony? I think you and me are similar wavelengths when it comes to graphics.
Yeah.
Where does this stack up to, I guess, the best of the rest? Like the Cyberpunks, those type of games.
It's definitely on par with that easily. You might say Cyberpunk is more impressive because it has more impressive environments. So you know what? Great question. I think at least so far, environment-wise, Cyberpunk is more impressive, but character-wise, this game is more impressive. It's just they look so fucking good, man. They look so good.
When it's the pupils.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. No, but graphically, that's one of the things I first thought. Like, hey, this shit looks next gen. Like there's nothing like cheap about it. You could tell they spend money on this shit, you know. But at the same time, but restrained money,
using,
you know.
And they're not using the ray tracing and all that stuff.
They're not, yeah.
It's all it's all the same sort of old lighting systems they did on the previous game. So I don't even think they do. I don't even think they don't even do ray traced reflections or anything like that. It's all just the screen space stuff.
Yeah. So man, imagine when the inevitable PC version comes out. Fuck.
As far as I know, whenever they do the PC version, they don't really add anything to them.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Other than the game running at a better resolutions for system, he didn't add anything to them. You just got them running the best way they could on.
Yeah, and he did a pretty good job. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to add any ray tracing or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you never know. But it doesn't need it, like you said. It looks so good.
It good.
When it hits the lips, it's so good. But what's up?
Another question: is this one of the? I think Manny kind of talked about it, but maybe this question is a little bit different. But is there a huge difference between the PS5 Pro in terms of quality?
I don't know. We have to look at Digital Foundry for that one.
According to Digital Foundry, there is not a huge. It's not like it's only really just a detail thing. Like you get to see a little bit more detail. Like in other words, you don't get any more you don't get like the ability for ray tracing or any of that sort of stuff. They said, in fact, the performance mode and the fidelity mode are so close on the PS on the PS normal, the PS5 normal. You just could leave it in in performance mode for the frame rates. So
the flames.
It looks good across the board, from PlayStation normal to all the way up to PlayStation Pro. And PlayStation Pro, the only things that you do get is like you get some more fidelity. You see things a bit clearer, and the draw distance is a little bit better. And that's about it. Like you're not getting ray tracing. You're not getting all these additional other things. And they all run good. That's what they're saying.
It looks good.
It's good.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else you want to add, Rich, about Death Stranding?
Yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you played the first one, and you enjoyed the first one. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
What should I buy it though?
Yeah, should you buy it, Rich? Should you buy it? You didn't answer the question.
Absolutely, Carlos. Yes, you should buy it. And shout out to J Shep. Yes, you should buy it as well, good sir. All of you should buy it.
Carlos, I'm thinking more about your question because I'm asking myself like now just more literally like, what's a better looking game than this? Mm-hmm. I can't think of many except Cyberpunk. And even Cyberpunk only looks better with the environments. Like it's on that level. Like I think this is literally like top 5 best looking games of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, Brian. Really. Oh man, it looks fantastic. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, you already know. It ain't coming to the Switch. I'll tell you that. Yeah. All right, man. Speaking about switching, let's move over to the next topic here. So we're gonna run down 2 showcases that happened tonight. One was pretty good. One was pretty bad. But we're gonna do them in the order they aired. First one is the Capcom Showcase. So let's get into it. I missed a little bit of the beginning of this. They had a deep dive for Pragmata. Manny, anything new that they showed?
I mean, they got into more detail as to how the hacking works for the robot girl. Where in other words, you have to pretty much solve a quick little puzzle in order for it to happen. So it's like a quick little, and then you can the main reason why you're hacking is because all of the robots are like armored. So when you hack into them, it blows out their armor, and then you can shoot at them with the gun. So, and it's different versions of that sort of idea. So And then what you do is like you can like choose different like weak points because you can see their weak points whenever you do that. So it's a slightly puzzle. There's a slight puzzle aspect to it, which is just interesting. It's an interesting thing to put into like a kind of like action game. So it looks like it should be a more fast-paced game, but but judging by the way the puzzling sort of works, it seems to be a little bit slower, where you take the time and then you do it. Kind of like like if you know near Automata.
Yeah.
With 9S, where he would he could shoot a hack wave at them and then essentially just open them up to just for serious damage after he plays that fun little mini game with the little thing.
Yeah.
Same sort of idea, but not as involved as Nier's hacking thing, where you actually have to play a full on game. It's just a really quick like, okay, you got to hit these certain little marks, and if you hit all of them, then you open them up.
Pretty cool. So yeah, they said, and we know this already. They're gonna have like a public hands-on for the game during Gamescom. So should be cool.
It'll be interesting. I couldn't say I'm excited for this one.
I'm intrigued. I'm pretty sure you are too.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Like it's not like, oh man, I need to have this game. I'm like, okay, this is something new. Which is, especially these days, since we're like, like we're getting like, okay, we're getting sequels and remakes. So it's nice to see something new. Yeah,
for sure. All right. Next up we had, and this is where I fully started watching, Sagat in Street Fighter 6. They do the usual thing where they have the character, they have Johnny World Tour, as people like to call him, showing up in the new character stage. Then Sagat shows up with like a big like tree or something. Then he does the tiger uppercut. Looks cool. I noticed his design. He's a lot skinnier, kind of looking more like Street Fighter 2 version of himself, which is kind of cool.
As opposed to Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha and Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, where he's just this giant muscle man, So that's kind of cool. And then, for you guys who don't know, he accepted that, I lost to Ryu. He's the better guy. I should dwell on revenge. So he's probably still going to be going on that journey and shit. Pretty cool. They said he's going to be dropping on August 5th. So I was getting pretty close. Basically, literally right after EVO. So, because it'll be kind of weird to introduce a new character right before EVO, because people may want to play him. They have to learn him. So that's coming. And then also, because Capcom realized, hey, we're sitting on a bunch of money here. Let's give people what they want, because people have been clamoring for costumes 4, because they have 3 sets of costumes. People have been for like almost 2 years now. Where the fuck is costume 4? And again, I really think it's because it was all hands on deck with Monster Hunter. But now that the game's out, now they can start not only putting shit into Street Fighter, but also Resident Evil, which we'll get to in a bit. For you guys who don't know, the thing that actually saved Street Fighter V was the costumes. Specifically Chun-Li. Motherfuckers bought her costumes. They made like 27 costumes for all sold out. They made a lot of money. Even though the game was not well received, that helped it out. Now Capcom was like, okay, let's give these motherfuckers some costumes. So the first set, it's like 7 characters are getting swimsuits. Here's what I learned after the fact. They don't say this during the stream. They're going to release the new costumes. They're themed, right? So like these 7 characters, their theme is like swimwear. Because people are like, oh, is Ryu going to be wearing trunks or something? No, he's going to be part of something else, So you're going to get your Gooner outfits here. Capcom didn't give a fuck. All the girls got 2 pieces. And here's one thing that's cool for you old school Capcom heads, right? Cammy and Chun-Li are wearing the same like swimsuits they're wearing in this Nishimura outfit of all the Street Fighters in a beach. They're wearing the exact same thing. Matter of fact, with Cammy, she even has the beach tan that she had in that drawing, So really good stuff. I'm gonna assume that's gonna be coming along with Sagat. Actually, excuse me, the Fighter season 3. It looks like it starts on July 4th. So, because there's this other stuff, avatars. I don't know if the costumes are coming with that, but cool stuff. Finally, some new things for Street Fighter, which I'm happy about. Next up, we got the big one, Resident Evil Requiem. Now, the interesting thing about this one is they said it takes place 30 years after original. Leon's actually 51, would be. Somebody calculated, like, oh, shit. But here's the fun thing, man. I know you caught this, too. You notice how I said, some things wouldn't scare Leon, but they would scare someone else. So I think that may be a little bit of a red herring. Yeah, it looks like you're playing as this girl, but maybe Leon will show up. But I like that rationale. It's like, if this is a horror game, we need somebody that can get scared of things. Not Leon's he doesn't get scared. It's fucking Leon.
Leon's an old pro at this.
Yeah,
like he's been if you're factoring in, obviously factoring the games, and you're factoring in if they're still connecting those movies that they did, between that time. They're all him and Chris are just like whatever.
You're talking about the CG movies, yeah.
Yeah, I think they did 3 CG films.
Yeah, they did quite a few of them. Yeah, because even the stream, they were just like, Leon wouldn't get scared of like a pot falling. Like, of course he wouldn't. He
would just be like, all right, what? Okay, what's the thing we're fighting this time?
And I also like, and maybe I'm pretty sure you're happy about this too. Third person mode.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. Like I like that they're giving you that option. It's like you could play it like the first person mode, which obviously gives a different sort of horror because it's you don't get to see what's behind you or anything. But yeah, give people a third person mode who want to be able to see their character, and also it looks like it's just really easy to kind of swap between them, which is even better.
To me, that just says I'm going to play this twice. I want to play it in both modes. That's pretty cool because I want to see how well optimized it is. But yeah,
you think they'll put a trophy on it? Play the game in third person mode. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the quote. We always thought about making Leon the protagonist for this game, but making a horror game based around him is difficult. He wouldn't jump at something like a bucket falling. No one wants to see Leon scared by every little thing. So he's actually quite a bad match for horror. That is, again, like you said, he's seen it all, man. He's a jaded old man,
Yeah, he's already gone through. He's already gone through the process. He's fought like these monster things for a good 30 years now.
Yep.
He's like, all right, let's do this. Let's blow these things away.
Yeah. So again,
I think you see that when he's in the one that everybody hates, which is Resident Evil 6. Him and Chris they're not scared by anything. It's almost like an action movie at that point.
Oh, it is an action, not almost. It is an action movie at that point. Which is one of the reasons people didn't like that game.
Because it lost all of its horror.
Yeah. We had. I know after they threw Kinitsugami. We don't really care about that, do we?
I mean, I must say this about the Kinitsugami game. That sort of I guess it's like a.
It's been out for a year though.
It's been out for a year, and they're continuing to support it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they knew that game wasn't going to do amazingly, but at least they did it. Like, at least it's out there, and I don't think it did amazing. I think it did okay, but I don't think the budget for that game was that like extravagant either.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. Even if it's not like a game for everybody, that's also good. It's also good. You get to make targeted games. And then obviously, the majority of the show was Monster Hunter Wilds. A bunch of stuff is coming. Lagai Chris. Now, just to make it clear, they said it in the stream too. You can't fight Lagai Chris underwater, but you can do some things. You can take some actions underwater, like use the environment and stuff.
He's from Monster Hunter
3.
3 Ultimate.
Right? There's 3 because the whole deal with that game was there was fight underwater in that one. And also the way to introduce him in this is the way they introduce him in that game. You're running away from Rathalos, and then he jumps in. So pretty cool. Then you're also going to be getting there's another monster. I don't know if they name him here, but he's also like from Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, Manny. Which is kind of
so it's a 3. It's a 3 and a 4.
Yep.
A 3 and 4 monsters.
The showcase monsters for those games, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're also gonna have another Festival of Accord. Maybe the girl's going to be dancing around doing something else.
It's all going to be summer themed now. So you're going to see a lot of like they showed a little bit like the what's her face the sword girl over there is like wearing like short like booty shorts.
The Smith. Yeah,
the Smith. So she's wearing a different outfit, and the whole area is all dressed up to look summery with like green leaves and things all over the place.
Yeah, it's called the festival called Flame Feet, and that starts from July 23rd through August 6th. We're also going to get Arc Tempered Udana July 30th through the 20th, so we got to go get our asses whipped by that. And they're going to have a collaboration with Fender Guitar, which is very weird.
You can get a Fender guitar, and then they essentially it comes with a pose that you play the Monster Hunter theme on the guitar, and then they went through all this trouble of essentially motion capturing whoever's playing it is playing it, so they're playing the actual notes in the game if you look at their hands.
That's funny.
They're talking about motion capturing it, so I'm like, that's kind of fun. At least they're like, yeah, come on. If you're going to be advertising a silly guitar, it's a Monster Hunter themed guitar, by the way.
Of course.
Fun stuff on it. But yeah, if you're going to make a theme of guitar, put a themed guitar inside of there, at least make them actually play the song.
Yeah, I was actually watching Maximilian's doing his like reactions to it, and somebody in the comments like, "What, man? No love for Gibson?" What about Jackson? Or BC Rich?
Well, if it was a BC Rich, they'd be like,
yeah, that's what it should be. I mean, BC Rich guitars look metal,
Yeah, especially if they put the Warlock in there.
Yeah, there you go. They said that the free title update 3 will be coming in late September. That's also going to add a new monster and another festival accord for that season. So that's going to be the fall one,
So the fall one. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So good stuff. They obviously didn't address the big issue with Monster Hunter on PC. Because now, like, if you actually goes to the Steam sale, by the way, shout out to the Steam summer sale that's going on right now. If you go to the Steam store, like, the game's like 10% approval right now. It's pretty bad over there. So Capcom, fix your shit,
yeah, they got to get in. Did you the one some of the cool updates that they got going on is they finally have now for the artisan weapons, now you can actually switch the way they look in general. So if you have a look that you like from one of the weapons, you can swap them out. It's for all weapons, by the way. You can switch if you have a specific like the stats of one, but you like the way the other one looks, you can switch your weapon to do that. As I remember though, the arc tempered ones the artisan weapons only get the ability to do it when you upgrade them past a certain.
Yeah, you have to get them to the last level. They said.
You get to the last level, and
which is 8.
You can make them you can finally make them look cool as opposed to these goofy green like robot weapons.
I hate those weapons, man. The way they look,
I only made one. I made one just to see what it was like to do one, and I'm just like, this is nice.
I did the same thing. I made one. That was it. Throw it in the pile.
Just put it inside the box. Yeah, like, all right, that's nice.
Yeah. All right. So that was the Capcom live stream. Rich, did you get to catch it? Mr. Richard Bailey Jr.
Sorry about that. Yes, I did.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
The Pragmata stuff, that was exactly what I played at Summer Game Fest. So glad that they showed more of it for those that are curious about the game. And I also will say I am intrigued after playing it, because at the end of that demo, there was a boss fight that was going to start, and they said, okay, guys, that's it for today. So,
shit.
Yeah, definitely need to see more of that. I'm looking forward to Sagat and Street Fighter. And for Resident Evil, I also think I agree with what they said about Leon, but come on, guys. Clearly, they knew when they said that people were going to talk about that, because the rumor was that Leon was supposed to be in this game when this game was in development. I've heard people talk about Leon. They talked about Chris, but Leon more recently. So for them to address it and say, yeah, this is the reason why he's not in the game. Very interesting, because now that is the headline I'm seeing all over the internet of why Leon is not in the game. So if he shows up in the game, that'll be quite interesting and exciting at some point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, February can't come soon enough.
Oh yeah.
And Monster Hunter, yeah, an awesome update. But like you said, Tony, they need to fix the PC version.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do, man. But good stuff. Carlos, did you get to check out any of the Capcom stream?
Unfortunately, no. I wasn't able to catch it, but hearing what you guys have been talking about, I'm looking forward to Pragmata, because I was interested in that game since they got announced. Monster Hunter, man, getting back on the dojo. What is it, September?
July is we're going to be jumping in, As a matter of fact, I think, aren't we getting a new monster at the end of this week? Or maybe this weekend? When it's Lagai, Chris, I got to look this up. But either way, we're going to be getting back soon,
So we got Cousin Chris, we got Ultimate Chris, we got Evil Chris, and we got Lagai Chris. Excuse me.
It's a lot of Chris's, man. All right, good stuff there. All right, let's move on to the bad showcase. Shit. Now, full disclosure, I had all the plans to watch this, right? I started playing Death Stranding 2. I got lost in it, Then I started getting messages like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, shit. The Arxis, right? So I didn't get to watch it. Manny, I know you did. I looked over their Twitter. I think they posted things in order. And I also, but I did skim through the video after the fact. It's only 34 minutes. Yeah. Absolute trash. I'm just gonna say it, trash. So I'll just get into it. There's some fucking, I don't even, what the hell's the name of this game? Some watercolor bullshit game that they start off with that.
Dear Me, I Was.
That was the name of the game?
Yeah, that's the
wow.
It's like a watercolor game. It's made by the guy who created Hotel Dusk and what is that other one?
I never even heard of that either.
It was a Nintendo exclusive game. It was Code another Code. It's another game. Anyway, the guy does these sorts, like the Hotel Dusk was like a point and click adventure, which was done very similar style to the way this game looks, like a watercolor thing. It sort of like looks like drawn people. That's the styling that the guy went for. Anyway, it's nice to see this guy. He's actually a really good artist. It's nice to see this guy get another game, but yeah, it's not like this one seems a lot more like a slice of life-y.
Oh boy!
And it also seems to take advantage of the mouse for the Switch, so it's a very sort of casual play. It seems like.
Is this a Switch 2 exclusive?
It's a Switch 2 exclusive.
Interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't say anything about any of the other consoles. But that was his last game too. Was another Code. That was also a remake from a game that was for the DS. So he seems to like making smaller games for the Nintendo consoles in general.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So there's that. Double Dragon Revive. I'm very disappointed by this one too.
I don't like the way that game looks.
I don't like that art style. I don't like it at all. I don't like it.
Looks like they look like generic. They look like if you ask somebody to ask somebody to look at the King of Fighters games and say do that, but then they did like a really bad knockoff of it. It doesn't have any sort of character. They just look like generic CG people.
Yeah,
it's not such a good looking. It's not an attractive game.
I don't know why they didn't try to make it look cool. Like the cinemas look nice, like the in-game cinemas look nice, but like
they don't.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not a good way to bring back Double Dragon. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? All right, the next one here. This is a new game called Demon's Night Fever, and I don't even know how to.
Demons.
I don't even know describe this game. Like, What the fuck am I looking at right now?
Is that the one with the baby in it?
No, it's some weird art style. Maybe it has a baby. I'm not sure.
It looks like a big fat monster thing.
Yeah, what is this, Rich? If you could give us any more info.
This is is this the game where they said we don't have any gameplay footage today, so we just letting you know that it's in development?
I think so. It has a very interesting kind of art style.
Yeah, I'm looking at a trailer now.
Open it up right now. Yeah, I'm gonna open it up right now.
But either way, I'm not gonna play it.
Here's the thing. Like, I feel like one of the issues about like saying, "Hey, this is art system works."
You expect some motherfucking fighting games.
Yes, but that's the thing about them is that they don't only make fighting games; they make a lot of other titles. So I think I think maybe it'd be to their best interest to start announcing, announcing whether or not something is going to be, if there's going to be any sort of significant things for the, as far as fighting games go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see this game. Yeah, it's sort of like a stylized looking, like game, but it doesn't exactly tell you what it is.
No.
It just show you motion graphics.
Right. Next up, we got Bubble Bobble. I guess that's coming back. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really go away. It looks like it's just another, another type of. They keep on putting Bubble Bobble in a bunch of different types of titles. So, yeah, I mean, it's a 2.5D sort of title. It sort of takes the idea of all the old Bubble Bobble games and sort of puts it into that sort of environment.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, I never cared for these games. All
it
right,
was fun when I was a kid. Me and my brother would play it a lot. We used to love that one, but yeah, is what it is.
Yeah, and then I don't know if there's any other games, but the last one to have posted here is this one was probably the biggest disappointment of all because they announced a new Daisuke Ishiwatari game, and you got to see him, during this talking about this game, and it just looks stupid. Damon and Baby, that's very disappointed there. But I will say this, in the interest of fairness, I do like the fact that Arc System Works addressed the fact that game budgets and development is getting too big, so they're trying to do an initiative where they're trying to make smaller games. They call it mid-range games. I like the idea behind it, even if this game is not interesting to me. I like that they're trying to do that. Like, we're trying to build these smaller games that can maybe last. They said, hey, that's how Guilty Gear started. It was a smaller game, and we built it up.
Yep, that's cool.
They're what's up?
Going for that sort of thing. What was there was another fighting game in here. It was like something.
Yes, Under Night In Birth. That's I don't know if that's a sequel or an update, because Under Night In Birth 2 came out, what were you going to say, Rich?
Okay.
Well, first, a quick question. So, to go back to this Damien and Baby game, so Tony,
yeah,
are you going to play this or Baby Steps? Because apparently that other Baby Steps game, this is another game coming out also. So, or are you going to pass on both?
I think I'll pass on both.
Okay.
I'll say one thing about the Demon and Baby game. It is a nice looking sort of fun.
No, again, game. Even if I'm not interested in this is good that you get these kind of games. By the way, Jay Shep's giving us grief right now. He goes, "Yep, these are the AA games you guys want," because he doesn't care for AA games. He wants AAA games.
Hey, listen. You realize that most of those franchises that you so love these days are all started as AA titles.
Yeah, for the most part.
Mario was probably had like a 3-man team on that.
Yeah,
And current standards, that would be considered a low budget game.
Yeah, but again, I don't like doing that. Because it's like by standard, then all those games would be indie games. No, Mario was a pretty sizable budget. Had a sizable budget. For the time. Yeah, for the time.
But it was enough. But it was enough for them to take a chance, and that's what a lot of this is. Say what you will about just because you spent a shitload of money on a title doesn't mean automatically mean that this game is going to do a gangbusters.
Concord.
There's a certain game that's out right now that's fucking shitting the bed. And how much was that fucking budget?
Whoa.
What was the budget for Death Stranding 2?
A certain Grand Theft Auto-ish type game. What about that one?
Oh yeah, there you go.
A certain Callisto Protocol type of game. Those games have some pretty sizable budgets.
Damn, Vanny's throwing them all under the bus right now. Fuck your couch.
So again, take each situation as they are. If it interests you, if it has a good premise, doesn't matter what the fucking budget is. That doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Ben. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this showcase, Rich?
Quick comment to make. Yeah. I also didn't like the showcase, but there were 2 games I was intrigued by. Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter.
That
is
another fighting game.
Yeah. I'm not excited about that one.
It's looking a tad bit generic. It's looking like a Namco game.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, when that popped up, because again, I'm scrolling through a video, I'm like, they make that? I honestly thought it was a Bandai Namco game. Because that shit looks like a Bandai Namco game.
Yeah, it does look like a Bandai Namco. Yeah.
This is Arc System Works making this?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
To my surprise.
That game looks like that game looks like they're trying to catch a check. That's what that looks like.
Damn.
And one other thing that was shown, and I don't know why this was shown. I guess I need to do some research. Dotemu showed that Absol game.
They're fighting game. They're beat 'em up game.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know that Arc System Works has some type of because their name is not on there as one of the developers. So I need to see why that game was shown.
Well, no, it's
that
Arc Systems. They're showing it on there is because Arc System Works is publishing their title.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So
okay,
it's
I didn't know that
title, but it's not a licensed property. So that it seems like Arc System Works likes to pick up like kind of games that have a bit of a more of an artistic factor to them in some fashion.
Yeah. By the way, the reason I didn't do the usual recap is nobody posted a recap of this. That's why. No websites posted a recap of this.
Well, nobody. Like again, like it's like what's the big dogs weren't in there. Nobody paid attention to everything. That's unfortunate. Also, I have to say that their stream didn't have closed captioning, like for English.
Wait,
for some fucking reason.
But the one I saw, it was dubbed. Stream too. Yeah, it was dubbed. The one I saw, I
didn't see a dubbed one. I saw a totally Japanese one.
Oh wow, damn. Yeah, no, the one I saw, it was like the Japanese woman was talking, but it was American woman talking over, or English talking over her.
Okay, yeah. Because I saw a bunch of people in the chat. Hey, let's get some subtitles here.
Yeah, no, they went to the wrong one, man. By the way, the other thing I laughed at before was I'm looking again. Nobody did a recap of this. I'm looking for it, and the first thing I saw from Reddit, the Arc System Showcase might legitimately be the worst showcase of the year. Damn, brutal.
Well, really?
I feel it. I don't. Here's a weird thing. Like, I think because the expectations were so high on it, that everybody was expecting like this, like essentially to have these big announcements on it, which is just unfortunate because, like, again, like there's things that I was interested in here, like the Super Technosis collection, which has like River City Ransom and a bunch of other like titles that is all getting re-released, like on a big collection. And all of the games, all their beat 'em ups and versus games are all online co-op. So you like co-op or versus. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean,
nobody's in a recap of this. Interesting. That fucking Capcom one. That recap was up like minutes after the show was over.
Yeah, no, it's because again, like once they didn't have their big dog there, everybody just like, all right.
Yeah, because people wanted to see Marvel. They wanted to see Guilty Gear.
They wanted to see Marvel, Guilty Gear.
They wanted to see Blaze Blue. They didn't get none of that.
Everybody was hoping that that Lucy from Cyberpunk would get shown, because she's one of the characters that are being put into Guilty Gear. But they only showed the second of the new characters for a little bit.
Yeah, I forgot her name. The new girl. Yeah.
Yeah, with her motorcycle sword.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. Which is actually pretty cool. Let's just be honest. Motorcycle sword. Yeah. That's pretty fucking awesome.
He's got a motorcycle sword. She can ride the sword.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Arch System Works. That was a waste of time. Not good. But listen, it is what it is, man.
I definitely think that again, like I again, because of the way, because they don't have their big dog in there, or they just have a little thing of the big dog, it automatically causes everybody to just be like, this is a shit thing. I mean, there's good things in there. The problem is that they didn't get the thing that they want.
Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to find a fucking. I hate when websites like just lock you out. Oh, you got to pay a subscription. You're not that big to be getting a fucking subscription from me.
No, man, just it's like, come on, just turn the ads on and just let me watch a bunch of
but yeah, turn the fucking ads on. Like because the source was The Verge, but I can't read it because the stupid ad shit. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about is that Xbox is officially adding Steam integration to the Xbox PC app. So I'm going to read. Yeah, go ahead.
I saw a little bit of Harris demonstrating it too. He had
oh, that's cool. He was getting grief for that, But I was talking to Paris about that. He was like, "Oh man, I'm even getting grief for this," and I'm like, "Paris, all you have to do is breathe, and you'll get grief." It's just how it is, man.
I don't know. He apparently he's a divisive figure now.
Yeah, he was literally. I saw a little bit. He was literally just showing how it works. That's it. He was like, I thought people would find that useful, but it's like,
You know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something on there. I'll tweet him. I'll retweet him. Be like, this is cool. Thanks, Paris.
There you go. All right, so I'm gonna read this. This is from Gaming Bible. I like the name of this website.
Gaming Bible.
And I don't know. Actually, now I don't know if I want to read this. The first thing I see is a fucking mistake. It says Xbox are forging. No. Xbox is. Companies are treated as an entity, sir. Where's the fucking editor? So I'll try to do the best I can. Xbox is forging ahead with its new integrated app plans on PC, bringing in games purchased through other storefronts into your catalog. It's not just the ROG Ally that will have the ability to see all your purchased games across various stores in one place. This functionality has also landed on PC within the Xbox PC app, currently available for Xbox insiders. So it's not for everybody, just for insiders who will test out the feature before it rolls out to everybody. Windows has a similar thing to have with the Windows insiders. So I didn't know Xbox had an insider program as well,
So
yeah,
it's
what's
interesting. Is it, after I watched the Paris video, I kind of was like, wait, doesn't it sort of do that already? If you're like, because, when I have, the Xbox application on my PC, right? It sees my Steam games. Like it sees
interesting.
It sees the specific. It already could see the Steam games that my guess is the ones that were already with. It's weird. Like I could see, like, because I had Metal Gear 5 on there, it could see that. It could see certain games, which is interesting. Now it looks like it sees everything now.
I think that's what it is. I think maybe the games you were seeing were ones that are like Xbox games that are on Steam.
Yes.
But this is just everything, even if it's not on Xbox. I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it
that
is.
makes that makes sense. That makes sense.
It was seeing stuff that was on Xbox that it could see them on there. And like you could actually choose to integrate it a little bit more. Like it asks you, like, if you put in that your Steam name, with your Xbox account, you can get there's a little bit of a rollover. I don't know if they do the same sort of thing like they're doing with PlayStation, Where in other words, if you earn something on somewhere, then you can get it somewhere. You know, you get the achievements too. But yeah.
Yeah. It says right here, what this means for PC players is having your Steam games appear within the Xbox app, allowing you to see everything you own in one place. And of course, if you're an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, those games will be included. The Xbox PC app will be available to all later this year and will appear on Windows 11 and handheld devices. Okay, that's cool.
No Windows 10, huh?
Well, no, Windows 10 is being killed in October, I believe. It's over.
Yeah, you can pay. They are offering a pay thing for it though, where you can pay to keep it on life support.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So I don't really. Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have any opinions on this. What about you guys?
I think it's cool, the integration. I mean, it's like at least it's all in one place now. You may even have the ability, like, you know, instead of maybe they like you have the ability to buy certain games off of other storefronts, and then you won't need to have something like a Steam attached to your machine. Who knows?
Yeah. Carlos, do you care about this at all?
Wait, what was it again?
Damn, that's an obvious no. Then that's a no. That's all the answer. That's a no.
It must be Tuesday for Carlos.
Yeah, that's an obvious no. So Rich, what are your thoughts on this?
I would love to see Steam come to Xbox consoles. When that happens, then yeah, I will. That'll be fantastic. But otherwise, I mean, I'm already playing some stuff on Steam on my computer, so I don't. I mean, yeah, it is good though. It's another option, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, Carlos, it's just the Steam is going to be the Steam app is coming to Xbox app or some shit like that. Or Steam games, are you going to be able to see all your Steam games, not just the Xbox ones?
Go ahead, Rich.
And by the way, Tony, you asked earlier, where is the editor at the Gaming Bible website?
Yeah.
He's currently at church.
He is. Gaming church.
Gaming church.
You know, he's getting baptized by a gaming Jesus. You know, not metal Jesus, right, man? Can you only see games or can you launch? That's a good question. I don't know if the Gaming Bible goes into that specific.
From what it looked like on Paris's thing, they just launched.
Did launch? Okay.
They launched. So he launched a couple of games. Well, he said at least on his version that he had was running. It didn't download all of the thumbnail the thumbnails for the images. So you would see the name of whatever the game is, but you know, and you can click on it, it'll start up, but it won't you can't see the title, whatever title the actual cover of the game is, at least for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like what they're doing is, again, it's like a sort of integration where it has the because a lot of those games have, like, you know, they all have DRM, right? They have to have like either Steam or Epic Game Store has to have Epic Game Store, or Ubisoft all have to have their applications running for a little bit of a handshake.
Yeah.
And then you can run your titles. So in this, it looks like you won't need to have all those other applications open in order to do the handshake.
J Shep goes, aren't there some handhelds that can already do this? So all your libraries, yeah, they all do actually. All the Windows ones do. Like for example, the Asus, they have their launcher. You see every game across all the storefronts there. So yeah, it's already a thing, you know.
It is a thing, but my guess the way this thing is designed is that it doesn't need to open up Steam or any of those other applications in the background in order to do the handshake.
Yeah, maybe. Because that's always the promise. Like every single time even though, like, for example, at some of these handhelds, like, even though you see all your games, as soon as you click on the game, it'll open up its launcher, you know? You have to go through all that nonsense instead of just launching the game, you know? But yeah, no, the idea isn't entirely new. You're right about that. But yeah, you know, there you go. All right, we got this other story related to Jeffrey goes, okay, this is like God Galaxy. Would Steam be okay with that? They are. I mean, they already allow it on other places. So they are okay with it. Asus ROG Ally, Lenovo Legion Go, they all have this. Steam right there. Steam isn't mad about that. I see J Shep. This is why he's the homie. He's always looking for that controversial angle when it comes to Xbox. Doesn't give him any slack. But Steam's already doing this, man. It's nothing new.
Steam is the ultimate Xbox.
It really is
everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't care where they are as long as they can get on any type of platform they can. So, I mean, obviously they're not on a Nintendo because Nintendo would never allow that.
Yeah.
Neither would Sony. Xbox is the only one that's doing it because, they kind of don't have another choice. So yeah, it's not surprising that Steam is getting on this. And as far as the PC version of this, it's like, I mean, I understand like it being nice, on a handheld or on a mobile or a portable console or an actual console, but on Steam, on what's it called, on PC, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Oh, the question was, would they be okay with bypassing their app? Well, maybe they're not. That's why you can't bypass the app. You have to go through it. Like I said, it would be nice, but yeah, they probably can't do it. But whatever. When you're a PC gamer, there's a couple of more hurdles you have to go through. Xbox. Oh, Gary, with the facts here. Gary, Xbox R is correct in some regions. It depends on where the website is based. Ooh, what regions? Because obviously, if you're English, that is incorrect. Richard's explanation that the editor is in church is more fun, though. I agree with that. We're going with that. The editor couldn't do his job because he was in church. He was doing some naughty things, and now he's got to repent.
He's got to go to what do they call it? He's got to go to confession.
Got to go to confession. He's got to go hold the fucking the little marbles, whatever the fuck they're called. The rosary beads. Father, I have sinned and shit. Motherfucker's gonna get the holy water on him. You good, my son. I'm just assuming every religion is fucking Catholic. Listen, that's all the interaction I have with fucking religion, with Catholics. It's crazy. What the fuck are we talking? Oh yeah, more Xbox news. By the way, and before I go on with this, The Verge is a very interesting website. So that previous story, it was locked behind like a subscription. Yet this story is not. It's not the whole website. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, this hasn't happened yet, but it apparently will happen next week. Xbox is going to announce more layoffs, bro. And Carlos, to answer your question, major layoffs. It's not official yet. That's why they said it'll happen next week. So I'll read this. Mr. Tom Warren, Microsoft is planning to cut jobs in the company's Xbox gaming division as early as next week. As I first reported earlier this month that Microsoft was planning Xbox layoffs potentially by the end of the month, and now Jason Schreier is also corroborating this. So it's coming from two different sources now. He goes, I understand that managers at Microsoft have been briefed about Xbox cuts and wider layoffs in other parts of Microsoft's businesses. The upcoming cuts are also expected to hit Microsoft's sales organization just at the start of a new fiscal year, which is probably where they want to cut a bunch of people, get the profits up. You know how that shit goes, man. Microsoft is planning to restructure parts of its Xbox business as it looks ahead to its next-gen consoles. One source tells me Microsoft is restructuring Xbox distribution across Central Europe, resulting in some Xbox operations ceasing in some regions. These latest layoffs will be in addition to the 6,000 cuts Microsoft already made in May, and on top of the more than 300 impacted earlier this month. Any major Xbox cuts will be the latest in a series of big gaming-related layoffs over the past 18 months after Microsoft laid off 1,900 Activision Blizzard Xbox employees in January 2024, and then in May 2024, the company closed several game studios, including Hi-Fi Rush developer Tango Gameworks and Redfall developer Arcane Studios. Microsoft has laid off 650 more Xbox employees since in September, and also cut 1,000 employees from its HoloLens and Azure Cloud teams in June. Yo, my man went in with the numbers. Shit. So yeah, more cuts potentially coming, but now we have. I have to say this, man, because the guy has me blocked on Twitter. He's not even on Twitter, and I just don't like him. So I'll talk shit about Jason Schreier. I don't like him. He's a worm. When he announced that, when he made that announcement, the same day that Xbox announced the VR headset, right? The collaboration. He was sitting on that the entire weekend. He knew about this. He decided to post about it that day when Microsoft was advertising the Xbox Meta Quest. That is some slimy shit,
No, he and the thing about it is, it's not like he didn't know.
He knew.
He did know.
Yeah.
He did know, because every journalist who works in tech and video games, if there's going to be an announcement, usually they give their little warnings to everybody and say, hey, this thing's happening. Here's the press shit, and then boom. So he waited until that shit was coming so that he could catch the wave off of the wave off of all the Microsoft interest or Xbox interest at that certain point. At that point in time.
Yeah. So yeah, very slight. But actually, Manny, it's worse than what you described, because you're talking about like a press release stuff. No, this is a report that he did on his own, right? That he figured out, and he didn't tell him about. And doesn't that sound familiar? Right? He knew about all the stuff that was happening in Activision, didn't say anything, right? But then when it all came to light, he was like, "Oh yeah, I've known about this. Why didn't you say anything, bruh? Why didn't you say anything?"
I thought you were all about the developers and all that other stuff. No, you don't give a shit about them.
You don't.
You're obviously you are trying to make your company money. So what you do is you wait to the right time to go and push some shit out.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a lot of times he said about certain people that they're opportunists.
Yeah.
He says that they're opportunists, and
pot meet the motherfucking kettle, bruh.
Yeah, exactly. Pot calling the kettle black. Homeboy does the same ass shit, but he works for, who was it? Bloomberg?
Yeah,
now?
Bloomberg, yeah.
He works for Bloomberg, yeah, he's doing the same. Just because he works for fucking Bloomberg don't mean a goddamn thing. He's doing the same. He's not above, catching a wave as it's coming along. So, whatever.
Yeah. Tony, he did the same thing with GTA 6. What did he do with GTA 6? Again, Jason Schreier's a fucking worm, bro. He really is.
Yeah, he'll do some morose shit.
So yeah, he sat on that. I had to take my licks in with that guy. He's just fucking horrible. But yeah, we'll see what happens if these layoffs happen next week as expected. Not good news for Xbox.
It's not surprising for somebody like Xbox, but it's like, again, like, basically the information doesn't make any fucking sense. They say shit like Xbox is doing the best it could be, greatest year, in whatever they start saying, right? And then all of a sudden they just offload a bunch of people.
Yeah,
so what's going
Jay
on?
Shep, thank you. Yes. Remember Rockstar, they were the ones that, like, correct me if I'm wrong here, right? It wasn't like it wasn't leaked that they would delay the game. They announced it. And then when that Jay Shep, please correct me if I'm right, if I'm wrong about any of this. Rockstar announced they're delaying GTA 6, right? Then Jason Schreier comes out and goes, "Oh, I knew about this." And in that case, if I'm right about that, the sequence of events, that's a case of, I don't want to upset Rockstar, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh yeah, no, that's
payola. I'm not saying he got paid, but there's advertising going on and shit. Yeah, okay. So thank you, Jason. That was the sequence. Rockstar announces that the game was officially being delayed. Then he goes, "I've known about this for a while."
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. If he's I think in general in that situation he doesn't want to piss them off and not get an exclusive. So
yeah,
he waited until he said that. And the thing about it, he's like, I've known about this for months. At this point, who gives a fucking shit? He's just going like first, like that. Ooh, first. No.
Oh, I knew. Shut the fuck up. Shit? Yeah.
You couldn't say anything in the first place, so then shut your fucking mouth and just
know your role and shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
dude,
guy's a worm, you know.
Yeah, Jason's a worm. He hides behind his altruistic, bullshit journalistic integrity, but he's just as dirty as the rest of them. Probably dirtier.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, shout out to Adam who's joining us tonight. I'm assuming you recorded another episode of whatever you're doing.
Yeah, always fucking. Are we live still?
Oh yeah, we're still live.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shit! All right, good. The fucking my brother, man. It's just I'm gonna shut him out on this because I have all these things, right? Thankfully, I get these screeners. I get things early, so I want to cover them. Let's cover them, and we could have recorded this on Sunday. Change the day. Oh, can't do it Sunday. Okay. What about Monday, Tuesday? Change the day. Oh, yeah, we'll do it on Tuesday. I change the day. Wednesday. What about Wednesday? The show airs tonight, Thursday, and then we just finished recording now. And
oh, wow.
It's like, it just frustrates me. It's like, the whole point of this is to have things all scheduled out nice and neat. That's why they do this.
Yeah.
So that way coverage can come out when the show is out, help promote and stuff. It's like, whatever. It just frustrates me because that should have been done already, but we just finished now. So,
all right. Anyway, let's move on here. More layoffs and closures. Rich's favorite game, MindsEye, didn't do very well, and now the studio is beginning the layoff process. No surprise there. This hasn't. Yeah. Go ahead, Rich.
The name of the studio is Build a Rocket Studio, right?
Yep.
So that name pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the studio. They're showing us how to destroy their studio by releasing this game in the state that it was in. And did you guys also catch that they spoke to the actor? The actor addressed. Yeah. So complete disaster.
Yeah, he said he doesn't like it when studios rush games, which is what happened with this one. You know?
Wasn't it in development for a while? Aren't these the Rockstar people?
Yeah, the ex-Rockstar guys, some of them, yeah. Build a Rocket Boy. That's a hell of a name.
There you go. That's it.
But yeah, it says because initially this was sources, but yeah, Build a Rocket Boy has confirmed IGN's report that the redundancy process has begun. So yeah, this is happening. Yeah. This what the company says. We can confirm that we have had to make the painful decision to notify our hardworking team of some internal changes at Build a Rocket Boy. While we are working to reassign roles for as many of those impacted by these changes as possible, sadly, we are initiating a formal consultation process that may result in redundancies. This decision has not been made lightly, yada, yada, yada. So it's happening, you know. Again, I want to know who rushed this thing, who wanted it out there. Because in all these cases, the developers know if a game is ready or not. It's not them that's pushing it out. Yeah, who did publish this game?
Yeah, because that's usually the culprit right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a combination of things. It's like it's the publisher and it's usually the studio underestimating what they did. But like, what did they? What was the issue here? Because was it a situation where they bit off more than they could chew, and they thought that this was a shippable state that they could fix in due process? Along the way. Here's the thing about a lot of games that do this.
IO Interactive published this. That's interesting.
People.
Yeah. By the way, Gary says, Richard. Richard, this is very interesting. So Gary says that you told him you were waiting to buy the MindsEye DLC.
Gary is still up way past his bedtime. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. No. But I do want to clarify one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are a publisher, not a developer, so we can't say that this is IO Interactive's.
No, they're just publishing. They didn't work on it. They just
no, but
exactly.
usually these things, like, it's usually the publisher that wants it out. You know.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what I mean.
Marketing, because of marketing and stuff, they have things set in motion in advance, and they're like,
that's what I mean. Like with Cyberpunk, the developer said, "Yo, this game is not ready," but the higher ups were like, "No, get that shit out." You know. So yeah.
Well,
go ahead, Rich.
Well, I will say, when I went to that IO Interactive event in LA earlier this month, they showed this game too, and I'm like, why? I mean, we're here to see Hitman and the 007 game. Why are they showing this? So yeah, it would make sense. They want to make sure they put everything out. That's an opportunity to make some money, but still, somebody should have looked at this game, did the proper QA and all that stuff before they dropped it.
Yeah. Yes, it's a shame, but this is what happens, you know. Rush an unfinished game out. What the hell do you think's gonna happen? You know? And there's no saving this one. Shit is done. Like, again, they're doing, like, you know, they're cutting jobs and stuff. I'm pretty sure the studio's gonna be shuttered eventually. You know, we've heard this song before.
Especially since it's like, you know, since it's such a new IP thing, like it. But I feel like a lot of it sort of crashed and burned before it even started. Like, we only just heard about this game fairly recently. And then, you know, remember the crazy talk that the head of the studio was saying, "Oh, they're trying to silence me. You know, it's a conspiracy." And I'm like, conspiracy, motherfucker. Seems like something was in the air. Something happened in the air that somehow gave everybody, you know, like, precognition that this game was going to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so next thing. Okay, so this is interesting because we talked about this, I think, on the last question show. One of the question shows, you know, when we were talking about the Clear Obscure game, we were like, wouldn't it be nice if Square-Enix looks at this game? Because Square-Enix has been on a bad roll lately when it's RPGs, right? Final Fantasy, right? We're like, wouldn't it be nice? Square-Enix was like, hey, let's make turn-based games again. Guess what happened? Square-Enix, they're reevaluating things. They're making like a new 3-year plan where they're like, we got to focus on quality, not quantity, back to basics. And they specifically said they've looked at Clear Obscure. They're like, yeah, we're interested in going back to that. So you put 2 and 2 together. They're interested in making turn-based RPGs. They want to fix Final Fantasy. They said that. We may get what we've been asking for years. Turn-based Final Fantasy again, you know? But think about it. But this would be with those kind of graphics, you know? So that could be cool, you know? Because now turn-based isn't a derogatory term anymore. You know, people are cool with them now. So this makes me very happy. And this is not based on a report. It's not a rumor. This is what Square-Enix said, you know, to its fucking investors. This is good news. I'm happy about this. And they also said they're going to try to make sure that their big games come out more regularly, you know? So maybe that also means they're going to cut back on shit, you know, because if you do make a turn-based RPG, it might be easier to make those, you know? I don't want to make any assumptions, but that would be good. So I'm pretty happy about that. Again, this all happened in an investors meeting. So there's not some rumor or some shit.
It's fascinating how a Western studio essentially harkening back to back to something, made a studio who's been classically known for those things.
Yeah,
reevaluate what they were doing.
That is interesting. Yeah.
It also is the issue that they've had for years, what I think is the issue they've had for years, where essentially they've been chasing the dragon of the general audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The statement. Yeah.
I've said this before. People who like those, you know, they obviously do these sorts of non-turn, the action RPG game to attract general audiences. But there is an audience that likes those games. The Persona games are a good example.
Yep.
a couple of other ones are really good examples of, hey, we dig the turn-based deal.
Yeah, the Yakuza games are doing very well as turn-based. Claire Obscure,
I literally had a Yakuza game that was inspired by Dragon Quest.
Yeah, two of them now. Yeah, literally Dragon Quest.
Quest.
But yeah, Square Enix, they flat out said turn-based RPGs are our origin and our future. Huh. There you go.
Now the question is, would they go back into that realm with a Final Fantasy, or would they try to attempt to create a new franchise to essentially test the waters?
Well, they said that they're very much considering making Final Fantasy turn-based again. They did say that. And they also reassured people that the next Dragon Quest will also be turn-based, because there was talk that they may want to change things up. I think after Claire Obscure, they're like, oh, no, don't fuck that up.
No, don't touch it. That's like that was your bread and butter, man. Like, you guys did that stuff. In fact, back when they couldn't do good enough gameplay and regular and like action games and stuff like that, I'm okay with with most of the titles that come out from Square Enix being mostly turn-based titles, and then you have Kingdom Hearts, which was an action RPG.
Yeah.
In fact, they were the only action RPG they ever had.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, that makes me very happy. But obviously, we don't know when the hell we're gonna see these games, because even Dragon Quest takes forever now.
Oh, they take a long.
The game takes too long.
Yeah, everything, man.
Especially like granted, like that last Dragon Quest game came out during the PlayStation 4 era, like mid.
Yes, it was PS4 era. Yeah. I just had to think about it because it was so long ago. They released it on Switch, then they released it on PC, then they re-released it on PS4 later in the life cycle. But I want to read this. This is kind of interesting. What Square-Enix says, from April 2025 to March 2028, they plan to release major titles across multiple platforms. No more console exclusives. They're done with that.
Yeah, okay.
And then they said after the 3-year reboot, they plan to release major titles of key IPs on a consistent basis. That is also good. You can't just be having a Final Fantasy game coming out once a decade. Like you can't do that.
It's weird though. Yeah. It's interesting because didn't two Final Fantasy come out? Two Final Fantasy games come out in the same?
Not mainline ones.
It was like Final Fantasy 7, and then it was the mainline one came out in the same year, right? Beginning and the end of the year.
But you've never had two mainline ones come out in the same generation for a long time.
No.
It's been a long time. I think the last time you saw that was during the PS2 days. Where you had Final Fantasy 10 and 12, and 11 if you want to count that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like came in the same console generation. Yeah.
Think about it like this: 13 came out on PS3. 14. I guess you could say that as well, right? 15 PS4, 16 PS5.
Remember when they announced two Final Fantasy games at the same time?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's crazy. I wonder. Jeshep says, "I wonder what the shareholders have to say about Final Fantasy 16 sales recently. They probably weren't happy,
Yeah, I'm sure even releasing it on Xbox didn't do it.
Oh, it didn't do a damn thing. It didn't do shit.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, that game is again, decent game, but I also think once everybody who's ever going to play that game already played it.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. And Xbox, again, historically, we've seen Xbox says they don't play these games. Again, I've said this a million times over the years. I applaud Xbox for trying, but it never works.
I almost feel like in general, Xbox needs a rebrand. Like, I feel like they need to really excise themselves of anything Xbox at this point, because they're not even a box anymore.
That's right.
Xbox. They're not even a box anymore. They're everywhere, right? So why not just call it Microsoft Games? And then when you release your Xbox, it's just the Xbox. Like the games, it runs Microsoft Games on the Xbox, and that's it. The Xbox is the device, not the division.
Yeah, no, you're right. Shout out to Kuel for subscribing, man. Appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. All right. And the last story. This one upsets me. And by the way, and we got an update to this story because the original story I have here is already pretty fucking crazy. But then there was an update literally before we went live. Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Street Fighter 6 movie, man.
Oh, no.
Again.
Oh, yeah. You mean the cast list?
Yeah. So the original story I have here, which we're going to talk about, obviously, 50 Cent has been it's not official yet, I don't believe, but 50 Cent, that rapper I've been shot 9 times. 50 Cent, will allegedly be playing Balrog, the boxer, which is insane.
I mean, maybe 50 Cent
but it
years
gets
ago.
worse. But we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, before you continue, I do want to say that is confirmed. That list that we saw, that's all confirmed. Yes, all those actors are confirmed.
Oh no! There will be blood in the sand with this movie when it comes out.
So that was a good game.
So I will take this moment to give Gary a shout out because I know he will definitely be watching this movie. Boy, 50 Cent is in it. Absolutely, gotta watch it.
Okay, so that's confirmed. Here's the one this happened just tonight. I'm like, why? Dan Hibiki. Rich, tell me if this one's confirmed. Dan Hibiki is going to be played by Andrew Schultz.
I don't know about that one, but maybe.
Yes, the comedian. I saw him live last year in fucking Mohegan Sun. The guy who interviewed Trump, like that, Andrew Schultz, is playing Dan Hibiki.
Wait, what?
He's the podcaster.
He's the yes, the Flagrant podcast. That's him, yeah.
Yeah. Friend of the show.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I like Andrew Schultz. I listen to the podcast sometimes. Again, I saw him live, really good comedian. No, he should not be anywhere near a Street Fighter movie. The only way he should be near a Street Fighter movie is if it's a documentary, talk about the New York scene, because he's from New York. That is it. This movie is going to be fucking awful.
But by the way, Tony, I can confirm that Deadline has confirmed that he is a part of the movie, but they haven't said the so.
Yeah, because I saw that from Discussing Film, and they said that he's going to be playing Dan Hibiki. Of all people.
Wait, so did they confirm the Roman Reigns Akuma thing?
Yes, that got confirmed today.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
can't wait.
There you go.
I knew it.
Roman Reigns is Akuma.
That's
Akuma. Who's Jason Momoa playing?
Oh no!
Whoever he wants. Yeah. That's Jason Momoa.
I am going, Manny. I'm going with your theory that I combine with mine. He will be playing Johnny World Tour. He is our guide into the world of Street Fighter. And he will be going around the world learning Street Fighter moves, just like Johnny World Tour. That is a theory that I've come up with thanks to you, Manny. He is going to be that guy. He's going to be your guide into the world of Street Fighter. Oh, what's a Shoryuken? Shit like that.
Hey guys, what's a Shoryuken?
Yeah.
So who's playing?
Teach me a touch
Ryu.
What happened? They named the guy too, some Japanese dude.
Yeah, the
okay.
They already
Jason Statham.
Yeah. Why not have him play Guile? Oh, I'm going. I am.
Well, no. Adam knows this actor. The guy from Warrior, he's playing Ryu. The Bruce Lee guy.
The Bruce Lee dude. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
that dude can do it. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
he knows how to do martial arts too. He knows how to do martial arts. So
Ken got cast as well. We talked about that like a month ago. Yeah. Let me look this up again. We discussed this already. But this is the latest casting: 50 Cent and Andrew Schultz. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Wait, so does that mean that Akash is going to be Dalsim? Damn, no one got it. Fuck it.
I don't know what the fuck.
The mayor?
The mayor Akash is the co-host on Andrew Schultz podcast.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's the Indian guy, right?
Yeah,
okay. That's his name. I didn't know his name. You know,
me neither. You keep a lot of secrets, Carlos. You gotta give us heads up before you.
The only good thing so far is that the girl they cast as Chun-Li is pretty hot. I'll give him that. She looks hot. I'll give him that. But other than that, this movie's gonna bomb. You know.
And you want to hear something else funny, Tony?
Yeah.
Does anyone here know somebody named Orville Peck?
I know Orville Redenbacher, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that.
I like
but apparently, this guy is a country singer, and they cast him to play Vega.
Wait,
what?
What? Wait, what? What are we doing?
Is this like a parody movie?
I think
is this going to be like a comedic type movie?
Yeah, I think this is like Street Fighter the musical or something, you know? 50 Cent's in a bust out with some rapping and stuff, you know?
Or like it's like Scary Movie, which is like a parody of, or what would you not? Was it Scary Movie? What's the parody of Scary Movie? It makes fun of all
another
of
scary movie or something like that. Wasn't that?
Yeah, that one. Not another scary movie thing.
Yeah.
Not another fighting game. Is Cammy in this?
Is this going to theaters or streaming or what? What's
we have no idea.
Oh, I think
this should be YouTube Red or something.
Balrog will take 9 sonic booms. The Gary says, "Who's playing Poison?" Well, thankfully, that's for the Final Fight movie. You know, I think they're gonna stick with Street Fighter specifically for this.
It's gonna be the who's who of Street Fighters. You know, the usual suspect, all unrecognizable. You think Roman Reigns is gonna cut off his beard
to play Akuma? But he doesn't have to. Have you seen latest Akuma? He has his beard and everything.
unless he's playing old man Akuma with the giant white hair.
Yeah, so he could do that.
But here's the thing: are they even going to be playing characters? What if they have the names, sort of like how the Batman, the with the penguin and all that stuff? They just gave people the names. Like it doesn't matter if you look like what we know you.
I mean, like you know, what's his face still sort of had a waddle. He sort of did look like the penguin.
Oh,
but I mean, like, it's just Roman Reigns just as himself, like, hey,
with a man bun. That's it. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Akuma kind of has his own man bun, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? Yeah. You know why they did it? Because he's got his, you know, the little afua, whatever those things are. From
the balls. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yep.
Yeah. So he wears those similar to those things. They're like, oh man, that's totally Akuma. And here, would Japan get mad because he's not being played by a Japanese person?
He's Polynesian. That's close enough.
Yeah, so
I mean, Japan got pretty mad when Memoirs of a Geisha, you know, they got a Chinese actress to play a Japanese woman. Just saying.
So I'm reading this from Kotaku. I think you misspelled the Chinese girl's name. That's offensive to me.
No.
Because isn't it, Carlos, you can look this up. Isn't it Liang, her last name? Not Lianga, as they wrote here.
No, it doesn't have an A at the end.
This bitch sounds Spanish according to this one. Kalina Lianga. You know,
well, bitch, you
from Portugal? Yeah, you from Portugal or something? You Iberian or something here. You know. But let me read this. This is, by the way, Kotaku actually has a good headline here. The new Street Fighter movie has the most bizarre cast. Here we go. According to the Hollywood,
that's an understatement.
That is very much an understatement. According to the Hollywood Reporter, rapper, actor, and occasional video game star 50 Cent is joining the cast as Balrog, the boxer who made his debut in Street Fighter 2 back in 1991. 50 Cent isn't the only musician turned actor set to star in the film next year. Masked country singer Orville Peck, like Rich said, is set to make his feature film debut as the masked fighter Vega after taking on a handful of theater roles in recent years. Other actors include Mr. Minecraft himself, Jason Momoa as the eccentric What?
Wait, they gave him a role.
Let us guess.
Yeah,
Tony.
that's fun. He's playing a role. And it's one. The clue I'll give you is he's one of the original 8 Street Fighters.
And Bison.
No, 8.
Guile.
The original 8.
Oh.
Not Guile.
Hey, E Honda.
No.
Oh.
Is he playing Fei Long?
No, original
Ken.
8. Original 8.
Ken.
Ken's already been cast.
All right.
Vega's already been
cast.
Zangief?
Vega.
Not Zangief. Not Zangief.
Sim?
No.
He can't. He's too
Wait,
thick.
who's left?
You know who's left.
Oh, I know the guy.
Carlos, remember we're talking. I'll give you a very easy. We were just talking about Portugal. What's a colony of Portugal?
The Brazilian dude, the TJ.
He fucking Blanca.
Yes. Jason Momoa is playing Blanca. What the fuck are we doing?
Whatever we want.
Yeah.
We want.
So now you're gonna paint him green, and he's just gonna jump for the roller.
Oh my God. Anyway, yeah. WWE star Roman Reigns as Akuma, Kalina Liang, not Lianga, as Chun-Li, and Reacher star Alan Richardson as Guile. Who Adam?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Dude,
is that the main dude?
That's Reacher.
That's a good casting.
That's a dude. Okay, that
dude.
That motherfucker looks like Guile. You know?
Yeah, he's legit. Okay. That's a good casting.
And it says here Andrew Koji and Noah Centineo are also part to be playing Ryu and Ken. So there you go. That's crazy. This movie's gonna be awful. This movie's gonna be awful. This might be worse than the fucking Van Damme movie, man. You know? Because at least that movie had Raul Julia, you know?
Yeah,
so yeah, who's playing that role?
Bison, we don't know yet. This just who's been confirmed at the moment. Anyway, I want to read the rest of this.
You're just gonna get Adam Sandler or a fucking Jack Black. Just for the fuck of it.
He goes, the rest. I'm just gonna read this. Is funny. What a strange group. I'm a Street Fighter fan, so I was probably gonna see the movie whether it was good or bad. But this lineup makes me all the more interested to see what kind of monstrosity legendary entertainment could be creating in its lab. If it's good, great. If it's bad, it will have to live up to the disastrous delight that is the 1994 film. I need the first trailer drop as soon as possible. I sense the makings of a new bad movie night staple. Oh, this could be like The Room, you know? Hello, Mark. You know? Fuck. This is going to be bad. When is this shit supposed to drop? They don't say. But there you go.
Well, it has to say on what service or platform. I can't see this going to theaters.
Doesn't say it.
This ain't going to. It's gotta have something.
Yeah. It doesn't say.
Wait, what's the name of this movie?
Street Fighter.
It's just called Street Fighter?
Yeah. Right now it is. It's just called Street Fighter. Just try Street Fighter, 2025 maybe. I don't know. 2026.
That shit ain't coming on theaters. It's going straight to the happy place.
Yeah. No, this sounds like a straight to video movie, which is what I like to call those straight to Netflix movies. But yeah, awful. I'm obviously not gonna watch this shit. Just like I'm not gonna watch that new Mortal Kombat movie. That last Mortal Kombat movie was awful too.
Well, we did get some good news. At least Denis Villeneuve's directing James Bond.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, all right.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, and what's his name? Batista definitely confirmed that he's doing the filming for the live action of Gears of War movie.
Damn it. Is he going to be playing Marcus Phoenix?
He's Marcus Phoenix, yeah. Phoenix.
Perfect casting right there.
That'll be on Netflix.
Casting.
Yeah, perfect casting.
Granted, he's looking a little bit trim these days.
He's going to have to bulk up again,
Oh, did you see? He's got a new look. You see how he looks now?
Yeah, he looks emaciated.
No, I don't know if you saw the new video. The new...
Anyway, we're not talking, but I mean that's still relevant.
He looks jacked.
Oh, good. Jacked. I mean, Gears of War, that's still relevant to our show. Yeah, no, that's good. I approve of that casting. That's good.
Adam,
yo.
So is this Gears supposed to be a movie or a TV show?
Movie.
Oh.
It was supposed to. This was announced a long time ago and got put on hold because of COVID. remember they announced two things. There was a Gears live action movie, and then he was petitioning, remember, online, sending pictures, let everybody know because he loves the game. He did all the voice work in Gears 5, as Marcus, and they put his character likeness.
Oh, look at this. This was published yesterday. Kotaku didn't even talk about fucking Dan Hibiki. Oh my God. This is going to be bad. Anyway.
Oh.
We're done here.
And then they announced also alongside that there was also a Gears of War animated series coming to Netflix. So there was two, but haven't heard anything about the animated, but the movie seems like that's on track, and he was confirming that's why he's getting in great shape and he's doing all that. So I'm trying to find an image. If you see it, he looks shredded. It's like, what the hell? Let me see.
Because when I saw him, he was all skinny and shit,
He toned it down, but he's cut. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was on Instagram.
Anyway, let's start wrapping up here, man. Adam, I'm going to distract you right now. Plug your stuff, man. TV Terminal.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. Doing the TV Terminal. We're covering, we got Revival. If you're watching that, that's also now on Peacock. So it's a lot easier for people to find it. Because to be honest, a lot of people don't have Sci-Fi. They don't even know where Sci-Fi is. Unless you have...
Sci-Fi Channel's still around?
There you go.
Wow, that's still around. I didn't know that.
It's not just on cable, but it's on, like, if you have the Hulu TV part, the TV or YouTube TV, then you could see it. But if not, there goes that. But anyway, it's a week delay, and then it's on Peacock. So today, episode 3 dropped. It's out now, but episode 2 is on Peacock. So if you're just watching Peacock, you got 1 and 2, and you can go through there. A lot of people have Peacock, so. Great show. It's a horror show. Got a lot of stuff. Our boy Trevor from GTA 5 is in it. He plays a creeper, right? And he's still playing a creeper. I feel like he plays the same character in all of it. Like, even in Walking Dead, he was creepy. So he's in there. We got CM Punk. He popped up in this one. At least his voice, we heard him. So they're getting into that. And it's good. It's a good, creepy show. A lot of little twists and turns. A lot of like, oh, who's this? Who's that? What's happening? It's not cheesy. When you think sci-fi, early sci-fi, a lot of it was like cheesy. Man. But they really turned it up a while ago when they did Happy. If you remember that, that was a really good one, and a few other shows. But anyway, that's out there. So if you want to check it out, TV Terminal, we got our coverage of that one with some good slides and stuff from that. And then tomorrow it'll be posted. Murderbot season 1, episode 8. Which is a great comedy that's over on Apple. Well, sci-fi comedy, a lot of craziness, a lot of blood, things getting killed, robots, stuff like that. But there you go. It's also on Coalition. If you're just into going to Coalition, you'll see all the stuff there that's being posted. So that's what's going on, people. A lot of that. And then, of course, soon got Dexter coming, so I'm excited.
Good stuff. And speaking about the Coalition, Rich was coming up on the Coalition this weekend.
Oh, yeah. So I'm still working on the final bunch of previews from Summer Game Fest. So stay tuned for that. That'll be going up, I want to say, starting the weekend going into next week. Myself and Dana, we recorded a review of 28 Years Later.
Uh-oh.
You know that movie. Yeah. That also will be getting posted soon. And aside from that, yeah, a lot of other stuff is coming. Can't say too much, but just stay tuned.
Spill it all. What do you mean? No, spill everything. I want to hear it. Oh, what's that song?
I want it now. Yeah.
I remember that song.
Hell yeah, man. That's the good stuff.
We'll do it on Throwdown after hours.
Yeah. Kuel says, damn, my friend just crashed out on Death Stranding 2 at the end of Act 2. Yeah, shit gets heavy, man.
Was that Carlos? He's from Carlos 2 online?
I want it now. I'm like, I want to hear that song now, Yeah. All right. Yeah. Man, you got anything before we leave?
So, got Street Sharks is coming out sometime in September or so. I got my Power Rangers cover that I fully drew. It's coming from IDW. It's going to be on number 9 of the Power Rangers series, which is also coming later this year. Ninja Turtles covers. Those are all, I think the last one is coming out like maybe this next month. We'll see about that. But yeah, we're going to have a 4-cover series for Ninja Turtles by Carter Randolph and myself. And there's also Naruto Teenage Mutant Turtles, which came out before that. And let's see, what can I say that has been out? So yeah, there's quite a bit of books that are all nostalgia. For some reason, that I've been involved in from this year. So stay tuned. And
You're working hard. You over here hustling. Look at this. How many comics you got out? 12 now. You just mentioned. Like, shit.
I mean, it's over the months. It's not like they're not like regular gigs. They're just like little bits here and there. A lot of times,
But still, you're sprinkling everywhere.
When you do comics, a lot of times it'll happen like early in the year. In fact, like a lot of these things I was working on like in like January, February, March, and then they're only now starting to come out because that's usually when they do their little their budgeting for their different covers. So you'll get a bunch of these different things that like we're fairly close to each other back to back. But yeah, still a bunch of things that I have yet to be announced, but they're all in the can. So stay tuned. In the can.
Kuel says his friend was crying hard. Yeah, I know. I've heard that. Ryan Epps, who reviewed Death Stranding for Tom's Guide, he said he cried at the end of the game. So shit gets
crying
heavy.
As like he can't believe he wasted all the time playing, or crying as wow, that was a great ending.
Yeah, he was like moved by it so much. He big fan of the first game, loves this game as well. But it touches people, man. It's how it is. All right, so we're done. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors always popping. And also check us out on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Play some video games, watch some TV.
There you go. And Richard Bailey Jr.
Have a good weekend.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.
Sunday.